Chapter 1: The Fire Within a Hero's Journey. In the ancient Greek tale of Hercules, a young hero faced a series of impossible labors to cleanse his soul. The first task: to slay the Nemean lion, a beast whose claws could not be pierced by any weapon. Hercules, trembling with doubt, stood before the beast, his heart a flickering flame. Yet he did not let fear consume him. He imagined the lion's roar as a storm, and with each breath he steadied his resolve until he managed to seize the beast's throat and claim victory. The moral that still echoes through centuries is that real power lies not in external strength, but in the inner fire that burns within us. When doubt gnaws at our confidence, we can either let it extinguish us, or we can use it as a spark to kindle our courage. A practical lesson for today is to turn doubt into a question. What can I learn from this challenge? By reframing doubt as a probe rather than a threat, we shift from a state of paralysis to one of proactive growth. Try this tonight. Write down one doubt you're grappling with, then list 3 lessons you could extract from it. When the next time the same doubt surfaces, you'll see an opportunity instead of a roadblock. In our modern hustle, we often get lost in endless to-do lists. The story of Hercules reminds us to pause, ignite that inner flame, and tackle the lion before it eats us. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Reflective question: when was the last time you faced a lion in your life, and how did you turn doubt into action? Chapter 2: The Mirror of the Sage, Lessons from the Battlefield. Across the world, in the land of ancient India, the great warrior Arjuna stood on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The war was raging, allies were scattered, and the weight of destiny pressed upon his shoulders. He felt the pang of self-doubt, questioning whether he was truly ready to take up his bow. In that moment of turmoil, Krishna, his charioteer and guide, spoke of duty, purpose, and the eternal self beyond the battlefield. Arjuna's internal mirror reflected not just his fear, but also his potential. He realized that his doubt stemmed from a lack of clarity about his purpose. When he focused on his duty, his kshatriya role, his doubts faded like mist at sunrise. A modern takeaway is that clarity of purpose acts like a compass, steering us through uncertainty. Start each day by declaring your core purpose, the reason you get up in the morning. Write it on a sticky note and place it on your mirror. When doubt creeps in, glance at it and remember why you started. In business, this translates into mission-driven decision-making. When you feel uncertain about a product launch, revisit your mission statement to ensure the decision aligns with that purpose. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Reflective question: what is your core purpose, and how can you remind yourself of it when doubt surfaces? Chapter 3: The Stoic Shield, Discipline in the Face of Anxiety. The Roman emperor and philosopher Seneca once wrote to his friend Lucilius, describing the anxious mind as a restless sea. He suggested a simple yet powerful practice: write down the thing that worries you, and then immediately move on to a task that requires your full attention. By doing so, you create a mental shield that keeps anxiety from taking root. Seneca's advice is especially relevant in today's digital age, where notifications bombard us constantly. By setting a timer, you give yourself a fixed window to acknowledge a worry and then redirect your focus. This practice not only reduces the time you spend ruminating, but also trains your mind to stay disciplined. An everyday example: before heading to a meeting, spend 2 minutes jotting down any nagging thoughts. Then, set a timer for 10 minutes and dive into the meeting with full presence. When the timer rings, you've honored your mind and your task. In leadership, this discipline fosters calm decision-making. A CEO who practices this will be less likely to make rash choices under pressure. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Reflective question: how can you build a mental shield against the anxieties that derail your productivity? Chapter 4: The Path of Purpose, Acceptance Through Socratic Wisdom. Socrates, the Greek philosopher, famously declared that the unexamined life is not worth living. He faced his death with calm acceptance, understanding that the soul's virtue mattered more than the body's fate. His narrative teaches us that acceptance of what we cannot control is a key component of inner peace. When self-doubt strikes, we often fight against the underlying reality. Sometimes we lack resources, sometimes we're out of our depth. Socrates' example shows that by calmly accepting these facts, we free our energy to focus on what we can influence. It's not a surrender, it's a strategic realignment of effort. Practical application. Identify one area where you're stuck and cannot change the external circumstance. Write down the fact, accept it, and then list 3 actions you can take within that reality. For instance, if you're waiting for a client's decision, accept the uncertainty and use the waiting time to refine your pitch or build relationships with other prospects. In personal growth, this mindset prevents the paralysis that self-doubt can cause. It turns waiting into productive preparation. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Reflective question. What is one situation in your life where acceptance could liberate your energy for more productive action? Chapter 5. The Breath of Balance, Harmony from Ancient Chinese Wisdom. The Chinese tradition of Qigong teaches that balanced breathing is the lifeblood of physical and mental harmony. A simple practice: inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and pause for 4. This rhythmic pattern calms the nervous system, reduces cortisol, and restores focus. When self-doubt surfaces, our breath often becomes shallow, quick, and irregular. By returning to a steady rhythm, we reset our physiology and bring clarity to our thoughts. A quick Qigong session before a presentation or a stressful meeting can be a game changer. Modern example: start your day with a 5-minute breathing exercise. Notice how your mind feels calmer, your focus sharpens, and self-doubt recedes like a cloud after rain. In a business context, using breathing techniques before negotiations can help maintain composure, enabling clearer communication and better outcomes. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Reflective question. How can a simple breathing routine transform your response to self-doubt during high-pressure moments? Philosophy Spotlight. Stoicism, the discipline of the mind. Stoicism, the ancient Greek and Roman philosophy taught by Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, is a practical guide to living a resilient, purposeful life. At its core, Stoicism teaches that we cannot control external events, but we can control our judgments, reactions, and internal states. By mastering this internal discipline, we become immune to the ebb and flow of external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote in his Meditations that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. He saw obstacles not as hindrances, but as opportunities to practice virtue, wisdom, courage, moderation, and justice. His daily reflections were a ritual of aligning his thoughts with the Stoic ideal, turning personal doubt into a catalyst for growth. 3 timeless lessons from Stoicism that resonate today are: 1. Control only what you can, focus your energy on actions within your influence. When self-doubt surfaces, ask, is this within my control? If not, shift your attention to the aspects you can change. This mindset reduces overwhelm and increases efficacy. 2. Perspective is power, view setbacks as training grounds. By reframing a criticism or a failure as a chance to learn, you convert doubt into motivation. This perspective shift is a cornerstone of modern resilience training. 3. Virtue over vanity, prioritize character over external validation. Self-doubt often stems from comparison. By cultivating virtues, integrity, perseverance, empathy, you anchor yourself in a stable sense of worth that isn't swayed by external opinions. These lessons dovetail perfectly with the theme of Stoic Fire, Bhagavad Gita focus. While Stoicism lights the inner fire of discipline, the Bhagavad Gita reminds us of duty and purpose. Together, they create a powerful framework to crush self-doubt. Control what you can, focus on your duty, and remain steadfast in the face of uncertainty. If you found this insight valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more empowering wisdom.